similar to what Tanmay Bhat does, and they all get on that TV screen and they just like laugh at
Oh
stupid shit.
man,
I can't do it. I hate it.
I am
I'm sorry.
obsessed with that.
I
I
am
don't know,
obsessed
dude.
with it.
It's
I
like my
can't
guilty
cope with
pleasure. I
like
don't want to be.
exactly. I can't stop watching it.
Oh my
So
I
god.
I'm gonna share a story, and I'm not gonna put any names. We had a sleepover at my house a couple of years ago, and probably like peak COVID. And then my friends were like, "Let's watch Tanmay Bhatt's videos on YouTube," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And they put this on, and he's basically watching and reacting to these really ugly videos on TikToks and stuff, like just like really like people
Yeah, yeah, the cringe ones. Yeah, I remember
cringe
the
on
this.
cringe
no.
ones, the ones which are like you can't understand the language. I mean,
That's
like
really
nothing is
not your
funny.
type of humor. Like I get you where you're coming from.
Get you
But
here,
like
yes.
no, but they are like rolling around on the. They are like rolling. They're literally rolling around on the floor, laughing, and I'm just sitting there going, "What is
Yeah.
funny? What is funny?" And the same thing happened in the US as well, right? So like we are sitting in a group of friends, or like, and I
Yeah,
don't think you guys were there. Like even Pete wasn't there, but like the girls and I are sitting down and we're just talking about things, and like they're just rambling on and on about how awesome Tanmay Bhatt's videos are, and like they're like going on and on about how they watch them on YouTube and laughing. And I'm like, am I broken?
that's really not your type of humor.
But no, I think podcasts with Tanmay Bhatt especially, right? Like I got into his podcast when he used to do good podcasts about like just comedians getting together and talking about stuff they've done in the past. You remember he did one where they talked about Bollywood awards that they wrote for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that one.
That
Yeah,
one I loved
amazing,
because I used to
amazing.
see these award shows and
Yeah,
I used to think that that was
and
all
it's
like
these guys who've
very,
written it. All of these guys have written these
yeah.
shows and jokes
They've
and
actually
everything.
written all the jokes and they've done it such a good job because I used to love those. And that's how I got into his podcasting thing. And then I feel like I watch these stupid videos that he makes now only because of those memories of those good ones that
Yeah.
he's done in the past.
Even though I might not like his idiotic videos, I think he's really smart in the way that, I mean, he's the one who's kept up with the technologies, right? We
No,
know
he's
people from the
he.
like I've seen people from like these kind of industries, or even you look at ourselves, like sometimes we are adopting it more easily, like we are early adopters, sometimes we're not. But somebody like a Tanmay Bhatt, who's been in the business for a really long time, is super creative. He's like smart. He knows how to like keep up, because like obviously he's doing really well and he's relevant, right? People usually like where in an era where everything is a trend and everyone is a trend, like people come and go so easily. He's been the one consistent thing that has been like generationally, like he's influencing
Yeah.
generations of youth at the moment, right? So kudos to him for that. Yeah.
And he started it for a really good reason. Like he was down in the dumps and he started it doing stupid PUBG streams that were really
Streams.
helpful to him
So yeah.
to get his mental state in right. And that is why everyone supported him initially, including me. Like I was like, dude, you this is a great way to get out there again.
Yeah.
And then it transformed into him getting to know this entire gaming community, getting them online
No,
into
so now
his.
you realize. So that's when I started watching because I was playing PUBG with my school friends and it was just four of us
Yeah.
friends, so we were playing. But you started from there. But that trend, so essentially he's bringing that trend from the US to India. Now you have all in the lockdown. The entire span of India playing all of these games, doing something online on their phones, and now he's tapped into that market. So now why it became famous was because the bunch of comedians were playing PUBG. They were cracking jokes while that was happening. That's how it
Yeah.
got to they started doing things. So instead of doing it just themselves on their phone, they started doing it on a fucking stream, and then
Yeah.
they're watching that. It has got to Netflix. He does things for Netflix now. So he does
Man.
react videos for Netflix officially. There is, if you go any new movie that Netflix launches, you have Tanmay Bhatt with someone, and they're watching the
Yeah.
movie and
And
they're
then
making jokes
reacting to
about it,
these.
and they're
Yeah.
reacting to those movies, and that's like Netflix is paying him to do that.
What he's doing here is now he's become big enough that he's bringing
Bringing trends.
watchers
Yeah,
to Netflix.
yeah,
It's not like Netflix bringing him anything
him.
anymore.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's bringing people there. He's got the people. Fuck.
Look at the job creation part of it, right? I was like, who a few years ago, like there were only like a few critics and people who were like doing this, but is this going like there is literally a job now that like a media company is willing to pay you to watch something and react to it so that you will bring in more people to do the same
Thing
thing. But
is, and it's the thing is, it's this kind of humor that people actually like. So they've made an advertising company like that. So all of the cred ads that you
Cred
see,
ads, yeah.
that's
okay,
Tanmay Bhatt,
yeah,
and
I know that.
there's some.
Oh, dude, you should look at those ads. They're actually really
The
good.
latest one
I
has
have seen like I've
The
seen some of those.
latest one has Leander Pace using a Chinese racket killing mosquitoes in a
Mosquitoes, yeah.
hotel,
It's
and
hilarious, dude. Oh my
it is
god.
out, and it's people they're liking that humor. It's this fucked up kind of mindset. It's stupid humor. Like, you imagine Rahul Dravid
Swinging a
in a
bat.
car getting
Yeah.
really 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 angry. That's what they've written. Now
Something Bangalore ka gunda hu main or something.
if you put logic to it, then it's going to be, you know,
Yeah.
it is stupid as fuck, but it's funny.
It's bringing two different groups of people together. It's
Yeah.
bringing people who have been in the other community where they've always been online, they've always been watching stuff online, but they were never really into this whole comedy thing. And then there are all of these people who loved comedy but never actually watched online for hours and hours. And now all of these groups are together. And he's got such a huge audience because of it.
See, but I wonder if there's like a third kind as well who are just looking for reviews for something that they want to watch, right? Like
Yeah.
Also,
like,
yeah.
and that's it, right? Because I fall into the third category, right? If I were to watch something nowadays, I often like look up reviews before I invest my time into it, so to speak, right? So if
Fair.
Tanmay Bhatt is officially doing this for Netflix, if I had to go and say watch Damsel, and I know Netflix makes like mediocre movies, I'm gonna look it up, and his video is gonna be there, and that's probably going to like bring a third set of people into the business, which is good for him.
Yeah.